Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing today? How are you all doing today? Okay, I'm gonna start in 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, so just bear with me. All right, almost done. Today we're gonna talk about. I mentioned yesterday. I'm gonna talk a little bit, give more information in terms of what WordPress, self-hosted WordPress-based website security. We'll talk about that today, and if we have time, then we can definitely talk about one of Megan's question about how to boost your SEO for Google, because that's a whole different ball game and a huge subject to be talked about. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about how to keep your self-hosted your WordPress self-hosted based website. Okay. So yesterday we talked about using the HTTPS. We talked about using some of the popular security plugins like WordFence, Sucuri, iTheme Security, right? But when it comes to that's the only thing we talked about yesterday, and how you can use a firewall services like Sucuri has that option that you can pay them monthly to have some type of firewall server security, right? And we kind of touched a little bit on the subject of using some type of password generator tool to basically help you get the most powerful password. And if you can remember them, then you can definitely use like Dashlane or LastPass and OnePassword.com. These services can actually help you to get the best super powerful look like a military based password. Okay. Now, when it comes to the subject of WordPress, self-hosted WordPress websites and its security, you have to look at four areas. Okay, so the first one is you have to understand what are themes, like what kind of themes out there. The difference between the themes, we call it's a template. We call it themes, right? So that's the first thing you have to look into in terms of consideration and understanding what they are. Then plugins, you got to look into the plugins. Then you also have to look into web hosting, like what kind of hosting company you are going with. And the last one, I believe, it's you have to take usability into consideration. Tawsif, salam alaikum, bro. How you doing, my man? If y'all have any question, please feel free to ask. Okay. Um, so those are the four areas that you need to look for when it comes to like how can I keep my self-hosted WordPress-based website. Okay, those four areas: the theme, the plugins, the web hosting, and the usability. Now, understand this. This is a fact. Okay, I'm going to misstate this fact because I said so, right? That website in general, like they're not 100% secure. Okay, there is no website out there that is 100% secure. I mean, you can have services, companies, and tools, but in general, I would say your website is not 100% secure. And because it's not 100% secure, right? That's why we have to have some type of good security practice, or just to minimize the what do you call it, the security practice. Okay, so the first tip is you need to maintain a strong password. Okay, I mean, I think all of us, including myself, most of the time we get too lazy and we don't practice, or we are not in the habit of creating a strong password. And if you're like that, if you're just like me, I'm the same way. I'm not in the habit of creating a strong password. You can always use like some type of third party services that can actually help you to come up with some sort of, and I'm going to share with you in a minute right here what kind of companies you can use for that. Okay, so the first tip on how to make your uh, uh, WordPress self-hosted based website is to look into the password. So you have to make sure that the password is very strong. So basically, you need to use a strong password, right? You can use. There's so many tools out there. I mean, if you just Google like password generator, there's so many tools that can actually help you to get this kind of like a military based kind of very long complicated password. Okay. Do not use admin as the username. Never create a username as an admin. And the worst case scenario, don't make a password with the word password with a capital P. That's not going to help. Okay, so don't use admin as a username for, especially for WordPress websites. And another option, you can utilize a plugin called Limited Login. So what this plugin does, if somebody tries to access your website through the username and password using the admin as an admin and trying different tools to crack the password, after 3 tryout, it's going to basically lock out the account, and you can only open it. So you can use some type of limited login plugins. Okay. You can also use password manager tools like Dashlane or LastPass or 1Password, or you can actually use a device. There are third-party devices that you can. It's like a USB small connection. You plug it into your USB port and put your finger, touch it, and it basically opens up everything. There's an awesome company called Yubico that does that, and let me show you right now what I'm talking about. Give me a few minutes right here. Let me pull up these security-based. Let's see. 1 second here. 1 second. 1 second. What's going on here? 1 second. Sorry, somebody messaged me here. But let me show you some of these tools. Let me pull it up. And a lot of these tools right now, like the third-party companies like Dashlane or LastPass and whatnot, they also right now they have some type of Chrome extension for these password security type of service. Okay. Imran already learned so much in 3 minutes. You must welcome, Imran. You must welcome. So let me share this with you. And one of the fascinating one, even when I went to South by Southwest last year, and I was very impressed by this company called Yubico. Yubico. Let me see if I can pull it up because the name is kind of not easy to find. Where did it go? Where are you? Yubico. So I want to show you some of these options right here. So you might want to check it out. Okay, let me show you some of these tools. Imran and Tawsif, if y'all have any question, feel free to ask. Please. Let's see. I'm like, what is this? Uh-oh. Let me see right here.